Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Okay, guys, last year I had a trip planned to Japan, Tokyo to be specific, and I was going to go on a racket journey myself to find a special racket. What racket is that? Well, you'll have to stay tuned. All right, guys, so before I get started, for some reason I was feeling a little Noah's today. So for some reason I wanted a bagel too. It's kind of rare. I don't know, like this happens maybe once every 6 months that I actually want something to eat for breakfast. I just want a chewy, soft bagel. You want to support my breakfast once a year? Buy me a coffee / tennis spin. You can always get me a coffee there. Thank you in advance. Okay, so as some of you may know, I love going to Japan. I've probably been there 9 times in the last 12 years. The wife dragged me there, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And I was like, nah, I don't want to go. Nah, I don't want to go. She's like, no, you're going to love it there. If we go there, I'm going to go to Disneyland. And she's like, fine, you can go to Disneyland. Just so you guys know, you probably don't know this about me. I'm a Disney fanatic. I've been to all the Disney parks except for Shanghai. Paris is not very good. Hong Kong was small when I went. Been to Florida about 10 times. Been to LA about 10 times or more. Tokyo, I've been there 10 times too, because it's the best. So if you guys are in Japan, go to Tokyo Disney. It is the best one ever. So I was going to go back to Disney last year and then go on a racket journey myself. I've been hearing about this racket that's rare. It's made in Japan, but only sold in Japan and in Asia. You know, Juanjo said, you got this racket? Regna. He's Spanish, right? Regna. I'm like, what the heck's a Regna? Right? And I was like, yeah, whatever. No. Regna. Can you get Regna? So I, texted my buddy over at Yonex. I was like, can you get me a thing called a Regna? And he goes, no. You cannot get Regna. It's an exclusive racket only for Asia, only for Japan. We can't touch those in America. So I was like, well, can't get it, buddy. Right? He goes, oh, too bad. That's the best racket ever. I didn't think about it for a while. And then for some reason, people kept talking about it. So there's a cult following on this racket. It's super rare. It's super exclusive. It's not quite like Pro Stock, but it's kind of their version of Pro Stock. I don't know if anybody on tour uses it. From my research, I don't think they do because they don't promote it that way. They just kind of promote it as their kind of royalty of rackets, like the best you can get. And when the Japanese say it's the best you can get, it's the best you can get. But because I couldn't go last year, I'm like, okay, well, next time I go, I'll look for a Regna. But since Father's Day was this past Sunday, my daughter, with the help of my wife, has decided to surprise me with a Father's Day present. Because I've been complaining about it, because I've been asking about it for a year now. They brought Regna to me. See that? So here's the thing. My man, the Spaniard, called it Regna, right? It looks like it's Regna, but I'm just going to keep calling it Regna because that's what most people call it. But since Regna came to me, I'm going to show it to you. No placard, leather grip. Regna 100. There's a 98 version of this too. That looks like some serious weapon. Kind of looks like a like a Wilson Pro Staff. 97. Kind of feels like it too. So guess what I'm going to do at Regna now that I have it? I'm going to string it up. You know, I strung it, all right, with Solinco Confidential 16L at 52 pounds. Because I think 49 would be too loose for especially Coach Goo. And I also put a Yonex Super Grap overgrip on it. When I took the plastic off, I noticed one thing. First of all, it's a 4 1/4, and second of all, it's only 295 grams. That's way below my threshold in usually any racket, but it does have good heft in the head. So let me spec it out before we take it out. Let's see what the balance is. Okay, so it's about 315 in the weight. Swing weight's 323. Balance is 334. That's going to be like a standard racket. Good weight in the head. It's kind of like a pro staff, like a lighter pro staff. I couldn't figure out what the RA was on that, but from what I can see online in some of the forums, it's anywhere from 64 to 65. In this 100, it even could be like a 66 or a 67. So that part I'm not 100% sure of. I know for a fact that it is a 16 by 19 because I just strung it. And from what I could see on the forum, the beam is 21.5, 23, and 21 on this 100. All right, so the beam 21.5 into 23 here, right? And then it thins out here at 21. So, which tells me flex here, stiff there. Pretty stiff here to slightly flex. So 21.5 at the top will hopefully be pretty stable. I'm guessing, only a guess, this is going to feel like a V-Core 95, but we'll see when we get there. The old V-Core 95, the all red one. I'm not going to tell Goo what this is. I'm not going to tell Coach Andrew what this is, and I'm just going to have him play with it and see what his initial thoughts are. We'll see you on the court. All right, guys, so we're on the court. Got my man, Coach Rob. Got my man, Coach Goo. All right. And guys, you guys have probably never seen this before. You guys may have even heard of this before. You guys are probably curious what's in here. We got some kind of royalty symbol here, and we got Yonex. Welcome to Yonex Royalty. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to describe what it is or how it is. You guys can go play with it, and then we can all talk about it later. Stay tuned. All right, so we just got off the court with what I'm still calling Regna, because that just sounds better than Regna. Regna's just, you know, a girl, right? Princess, royalty. All right, Coach Rob, what did you think?
So I don't hit with too many Yonexes, but it felt pretty good. I actually liked the throat. Holding it like this felt good. I'm with Wilson and use Pro Staff, so this felt pretty good. Swing weight was pretty nice. Ball came off the racket, had some good pop to it, and yeah, nice racket.
As you guys know, Coach Rob bleeds Wilson red. So for him to like anything that's not Wilson, pretty not kosher. Okay? So that's a lot coming from Coach Rob. Coach Goo, you bleed anything that you like. So
Yes,
what
I
do
do.
you think?
Honestly, this reminds me of my 95. I actually prefer this stick because the weight on this was actually not as muted. I think it's due to the paint, but like with this racket, it's weighted really nice. It goes through like the 95, but it has a pop of the V-Core 100 for sure. So I definitely love this racket. It was a nice stick.
Okay, so what Coach Gu is actually referring to is that older V-Core 95 in the all red. So no blue, the older version.
Not the new one.
Not the current version with the blue. In the 95 only though. It
Yes.
has that kind of a feel where as you start moving forward into the ball, as you swing, the weight distribution starts moving to the head. And at impact, it's like the whole racket is into the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's the feeling that we're talking about. So I kind of got the same feeling that, you know, when you get this puppy going, the weight distribution is heading to the ball. And then at impact, you're like crushing the ball. So it has that same feel. And that's why I think we all kind of like this. Even though it's a 10.2 ounce racket on 100 head, it's got great control, great feel, easy to spin, easy to maneuver. This is definitely a racket that we would all probably consider playing with. Here's the kicker, guys, that these guys don't know. Coach Rob, would you pay $400 for this racket?
No.
Does that shock you?
That's pretty pricey.
Right? Coach Gu, $400 sticker shock?
If you're paying for it.
Right?
If you're paying for it. I mean, it's a great stick, but for 100 seems a little pricey. It's almost like the Wilson, if you ever guys know, is like that Wilson naked racket. It's going for like 400 too. If Harry's putting it on it, then I'll let him buy it for me.
Yeah. And this was it. This is the last one. I think there's no more of these right now. We got to go to Japan to get more of these if we want them. So
you're getting them, right? I heard.
Yeah, let's go. We're all gonna go take a trip to Japan. Maybe get a meeting with Yonex and sit down and maybe get some Regnas. Bring some Regnas back. Hi Yonex. How about a trip, guys? I'm going to Japan anyways, guys. So let me know. Shoot me an email. Invite me over, and we can have some sake. On me, okay? Guys, this racket is about $385. So I've been throwing out that $400 price tag because we got to include tax because I actually had to pay tax.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. So Yonex, Regna, whatever you want to call it, it's probably worth the money if you are definitely a collector and you want something that is of high quality and plays super well. Okay. Want to thank my man Coach Rob for hanging out with me today. Want to also thank my man Coach Gu. Where can we find you, Gu?
You can find me at agu.tennis. I'll also be posting content there as well.
All right. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.